Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. First I'm going to start off this look by applying primer all over, and I'm using NYX Shine Killer, and I think it's just because it's the primer that I have left. So I'm applying this all over my face and on my neck. I might put some makeup there, I'm not sure. So I am going to do kind of a very natural look today, you guys. It's going to be kind of like an elevated natural look, not necessarily a soft glam, but basically me looking like myself, but just kind of elevated. I got these new products and they're contact lenses. Do you guys remember color contact lenses? I do. I used to wear them in high school pretty much almost every day and into like freshman year of college. They were so much fun. They changed up your look so much to almost like where you look like a different person. So they're really just an easy, quick fix to kind of like just spice up your look if you want to do, just for temporary reasons, or it's a special occasion, a different outfit or anything like that. So in order to really kind of draw a lot more attention to my eyes, I'm going to keep everything else on my skin very neutral and very natural. After I've applied the under eye corrector and the foundation, I'm now going to apply a lighter concealer underneath my eyes, but also on the outer corner of my eye, kind of at an angle, and then an even lighter concealer, you guys, on top of the concealer I previously put on there, just on the inner corner, because I want that to be just not necessarily extra bright, but very awakening. So it is going to be a little bit brighter than the outer corners are, but it's going to give more of an awakening effect than intentional lightness or over lightness in that area. So I'm taking the beauty blender and I'm blending out the outer corners because I want the inner corners to dry down a little bit before starting to blend that out. As I started to do this, the sunset was changing the lighting, and the blinds were open. So I'm so sorry, guys, that it got that kind of lighting issue on the footage. But shortly after this, I noticed it in the monitor and changed it and like kind of closed off the lighting and fixed that a little bit. So now it's a little better. But now I'm just going in and I'm pressing that inner corner with a beauty blender just to blend out the concealer on the inner corner. Now I'm going to go in with this duo fiber brush and contour, and what I'm doing is basically contouring the sides of my cheek down towards my chin, and this is a little different than how I usually contoured in the past, but this is a new technique that I've picked up and I really like the results of it. So I just kind of make this kind of a semicircle right along my cheekbone and down to the hollow of my cheek, and then fill all of that in so it creates a bit of a shadow in that entire area. Now I'm going to do the same thing and contour along my forehead, starting at my temple, kind of the outer portion of my brow, and then blend that all the way to the other side, my other temple and the other tail of my brow, and then just blend that up into my hairline. And I'm not necessarily going to connect these two contour areas, the forehead and the cheek chin area, but I'm just going to make sure that I blend out any harsh lines with the beauty blender. Now I'm going to take a soft brush and translucent powder and begin to apply this set my under eyes, but before I do that, I noticed there was creasing with my under eyes, so then I went ahead and blended out the creasing with the beauty sponge before applying the translucent powder to that area. So here I am applying the translucent powder all over my eyelid with a brush, and then I'm gonna go into like my cheek area with another powder that actually matches my skin tone with the beauty blender, because I want a little bit more of a fuller coverage in my cheek area, because that tends to be like my problem area. The pores there tend to be a little bit larger, so I like to kind of really press in the powder so that it really gets into the skin and makes it look a lot flatter in that area. So that's why I use the beauty blender only in those areas, but don't use it underneath my eyes, otherwise it's going to kind of give that, you know, like caked on look underneath my eyes. And then everywhere else on the rest of my face, I used a loose powder brush and the powder that matches my skin tone, and dusted it all around the on top of the lighter translucent powder, but also all along the rest of my face. Now I'm going to pinch this cheek brush and apply and pick up some bronzer. This way it's just easier for me to, you know, pick up the bronzer on the cheek brush. And then I'm going to apply the bronzer everywhere I applied contour. So from temple to temple along my forehead, and also that kind of small semicircle area from my cheekbone down to my jawline. Then I'm going to squeeze that same brush and pick up this contour color, and I'm using this color. It's a very matte contour color, and I'm just going to apply this only along my cheekbones, just to kind of angle my cheeks just a little bit more, give it a little bit more of a sharper shape. A little bit of the of my bronzer was still on the brush, and I can tell because it just looks like kind of that area is kind of a darker bronzer than the rest of my face, but I wasn't mad at it, so I kept it and then just kind of blended it out a little bit with the beauty blender. So now I'm going to start on my brows, and I have been struggling, you guys, since I dyed my hair to find the perfect combination of brow products and color, but I think I found it this time. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking a lip liner, and it's in the color Deep Nude, and I am tracing along my brow hair, just kind of creating the shape a little bit. So then I'm going to take a gel, kind of a pomade product, and a angle liner, and extend the tail of my brow that doesn't have much tail, but I also have to do it to the other side so that they all look symmetrical. So even though, you know, my left brow is a little stronger and has the tail, I still want to mimic the two. Then I'm going to pick up this this brow liner that's like a black brown color, and begin to fill in the head and connect it to the tail. And so it's still like a very dark color, but it's a little lighter than the tail, and so it just really evenly ombres into it, and it looks very, very natural. Then the last step is I take a spoolie and just kind of go over it, just so that I can kind of loosen the hair from the wax, and then it also kind of helps to blend the products all together. Next, I moved on to my eyeshadow, but I felt like when I applied this color, it was not exactly what I wanted. It was a little too light and I wanted to go for something very, very natural. So I made a mistake and I wanted to take it off, but I knew that wasn't going to happen and restore it back to my natural color. So whatever I do on one side, I had to do to the other side. But then I took my beauty sponge and with some powder on it, I went over that and it just kind of lifted that color up a little bit more so that it went back to my skin tone color on my eyelid. Next, I took a fluffy shadow brush and I took the color that I used for my bronzer and applied this to the upper area of my eye, kind of closer to my eyebrow without going on top of the my actual brow bone, but staying very, very close on my upper lid and just really making sure to just kind of warm up that area. Then I took that same brush and picked up the cocoa contour that I put on my face, thinking I was going to kind of mimic what I did on my face, but I picked up a lot more product than I intended to, and I really slapped it on by accident. And I was like, oh man, how do I take this off? And with makeup, you cannot take it off once it's on, it's applied. So the other side, I just tried to go very, very light, but try to kind of mimic the other side. And then I wiped off the brush as much as possible so that there was no product, and then just went over it and over it 101 times just to kind of take out a little bit of product and just make sure both sides are even. After that, I went in with my favorite eyeliner technique, and this is with the liquid eyeliner pen. And I'm holding it on its side and creating the thinnest, smallest eyeline possible, just really right above my eyelashes. And then after that, I go ahead and apply mascara all over my lashes. And then, so it's a little bit more of an elevated natural look, I put a half lash on the outer corner of my eye. Not a full lash, but just something to give a little bit of length and volume on the outer corner. With the half lash, I wait for it to get about 70% dry, and then I'd go in with tweezers and squeeze the false lash and my real lash together to make sure that they are kind of blended and look very, very natural. After that, I'm going to apply this lip gloss that pretty much matches my skin tone and looks the most natural on me. It's called Tawny Nude. It's my favorite lip gloss to go to when I just want to slap it on, and it doesn't matter what I'm wearing. It will match my skin tone, so it'll match what I'm wearing. Thank you guys for staying with me and watching the video. I hope you really liked it, and if you do, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.